It's 7:40. Let's do this. Good evening, Hampton Roads. Good evening, Northeast North Carolina. My name is David Aldrich, Chief Meteorologist of WTKR News 3 Television, and you are watching First Warning Live, where we focus on all things weather, but we get hungry from time to time. It's sponsored by Marco's Pizza, where we're giving away 22 pizzas this live stream. I got names, I got towns. It's on the computer. I'll do that at the top of the hour. And also, we're giving away 100 extra pizzas. That's when I come and get it. You got to go to a particular store. I'll talk about that a little bit later at 8 o'clock too. But first though, I got to get to what's going on. We have a pressing storm that's coming in this weekend, the coastal low, still on track to disrupt your outdoor activities and events. I don't like to be the messenger of bad news. Some would say it's lousy, some would say it's disruptive, some would say it's just dreadful because of the timing, right? It's going to occur over the weekend, and it's going to be moving up from the south, so it's going to affect southeast North Carolina first, and then eastern North Carolina, and eventually Hampton Roads and the eastern shore. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I got to show you interesting, beautiful picture tonight. We had a beautiful sunset over the Hague, over the Elizabeth River, and yes, we just got a passing shower of all things. It did come into outside the station here just a few moments ago. Maybe you got one too. Low humidity is the key. Cool and crisp tomorrow. We're expecting highs in the upper 60s. I'm expecting a high of 69. We hit 67 today in Norfolk. Weekend coastal storm will include, among many other things on the menu, strong winds and heavy rain likely. Do you like that? Is that descriptive enough? Heavy rain likely, especially along the coast. And if early next week, if we were to put some numbers to them, I do think the storm effects will linger into Tuesday as well if the way things are shaping up. So be prepared for more coastal and tidal flooding into early next week. Now the peak wind gusts today, 35 in Norfolk. It was 29 in Virginia Beach, 30 in Currituck. You see there 31 in Hatteras and 30 in Manteo. If we head back up to the north, these are the current readings, right? We have a 30-mile-an-hour gust in Norfolk right now, and we also have 26 in Manteo. I'll go back down to the south. We got 26 currently Hatteras, 26 in Manteo. So it's still breezy tonight, but do you see a lot of rain on this radar image? Did it fail me? Did I just not see it? It came into the station. I know it came in coming in like this, but there's just not a lot of green returns here. So these low clouds perhaps maybe went undetected, but it looked like it rained perhaps along the eastern shore, not far from Cape Charles, and it seemingly made it into Norfolk. If you got a rain shower tonight, let me know because I'd love to say hi to you. I got a couple of notes from, I think it's Rose. Do I have Rose from last night? Let me put Rose on here. I'm going to say hi to Rose. Hi, Rose. She said, looks like, if I telestrate this, her notes, looks like lots of rain coming. Thank you for keeping us updated. Well, I am happy to do, this is what I do for a living. I love to be able to tell people how to prepare. It's a wider communication job, but it helps to have a degree in meteorology, and I'm so glad you dressed up like I did. I got a tie. You look like you're ready for a night on the town, like a banquet or something of sorts, but Rose, great to have you here. And that was yesterday. I do have another note that I didn't get to. It came in after I think I had finished live streaming. This is from Kim Thompson-Jones. She said, today is my birthday, so my belated birthday greetings to you, Kim. And I had Marco's tonight. That was last night. I'm thrilled. You got a real treat for your birthday, in my view. But I digress. Let's get back to the weather, and I'll load in some of the newer comments that might be coming in now as we get back to the maps. But did you get some rain this evening? If you did, let me know. I'm just looking at the telestrator. I'm looking at clearing that off for us. But the rain showers didn't look like much, but some of it did apparently make it into town with that onshore flow. We have a high pressure dome that's well situated to our north, and as winds rotate around that high clockwise, it is awfully cold in upstate New York tonight. It is awfully cold, we'll look at it, in Pennsylvania and in parts of Virginia. So if I said to you, hey, we're going to be in the upper 20s tonight in parts of Virginia, you'd say, no way. We're in the 50s here tonight. I don't want to mislead you, but in other parts of the state, they're going to be in the upper 20s by morning. That's why they have freeze warnings in effect for upper 20s. Yesterday, the thought was low 30s, and they go, no, Harrisonburg, probably upper 20s. Very, very cold. I don't know if you are mindful of it, but tomorrow is the 10th of October. That seems to be pretty early. I did post on my Facebook page yesterday the Wakefield numbers, the towns and the average frost, the average freeze, the dates that go along with the last 20 years are on my Facebook page if you're really, really interested in your town. But I do know that James, Madison, University Dukes will be duking out the cold tonight in Harrisonburg because they are purple. And that purple means they're under a freeze warning until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. This is going to affect more than 500,000 people when you take the big picture in view. But at least in Virginia, that's some cold air. I don't know if you're traveling tonight, but I thought I'd throw that out there just for good measure. Now let's get back to the real issue at hand. Down to the south, we have a cold front that brought us some scattered showers and storms, isolated thunderstorms yesterday. That front right now is situated near and around Daytona Beach. But it is clear, just from this image alone, that we have the elements, we have the ingredients for a new area of low pressure to form, and that's what we're anticipating. That's what all the models are going, ding, 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 ding. They're sounding the alarm that we have the potential for some active weather going into the weekend. I just want to check in with you. I want to hear your voice. If you have a comment, a concern, maybe you didn't get all your questions answered maybe last night. Let's see if we can answer them tonight. And I will, again, at the top of the hour, I'm going to be talking more about pizza and how we can give it away. Margot's Pizza loves weather. I love pizza. It's a perfect marriage. But let's take a look. I see a note from Taj Brown. He's on here. Taj would like to say hello to everybody who's watching either live or maybe a little bit later. Great to see you, Taj. Love the smiling face. Good to see you. And Marilyn Bell is on here as well. I want to say hi to Marilyn. She's in Tennessee. She says, stay safe, everyone. Thinking about you all here in Tennessee. Well, thank you very much, Marilyn. I know we have some winners for pizza coming up in a moment, but I do want to mention, if you haven't figured this out, we do this every Thursday. There are actually now 6 locations. There used to be 5. 6 locations that participate in the contest to win free pizza. It is not hard to do. You get your name in here, you go to our webpage, WTKR.com. That's our webpage, and then put the /Marcos, and you will be entered into a randomized drawing that every Thursday we're going to announce some big winners. We've got pizza for a year going out to 1 individual tonight, and I'm going to pass out 10 individual pizzas as well. But there are 3 in Virginia Beach now with the 757 numbers that participate. There are 2 in Chesapeake now, and 1 in Norfolk. And the second one over here, the new one that's newly opened, is giving away free pizza, 100 pizzas this Saturday. All you have to do is come and get it. I'll talk about that coming up in a moment. But the certificate that I talk about a lot looks like this. So somebody at 8 o'clock, I'm going to give away pizza for a year certificate. It'll be coming in your mailbox. You may be the winner, and you may not even know that you're going to be winning a large one-topping pizza every month for a year. If you so decide to, actually, if you win, all you have to do is sign up. Really easy to do, but I'll get back to that in just a moment. Let's get back to the weather, because I do want to mention how the impacts of this storm are going to be. So focus around the phone, the iPad, the desktop, whatever you're looking at, your screen, because this shows you what it looks like at 8 o'clock Saturday morning. Well, I'm going to be asleep, Aldrich. Maybe you are. Maybe you're up early. But the pounding rain, at least on this model, puts it really squarely over Wrightsville Beach, Wilmington, Ocracoke, Hatteras, potentially, as well as Rodanthe by Saturday morning. There may not be a whole lot going on in Hampton Roads at that hour, but because this is dynamic, because it's fluid, because it's constantly changing, these are the things we have to take into account. So this is going to be moving up. This is 8 o'clock. Let's move it forward. 4:30. Slow moving. What do you see here? You tell me. Has it moved much? Maybe a little bit. Looks like it's covering Currituck. It looks like it's covering Moyock. It looks like it's now raining around even Williamsburg. So you have this onshore flow that's going to be driving winds, because winds rotate how? They rotate counterclockwise around the low, and the low is over here. And so our concern is this is going to be such a slow mover, whether it gets a name or not. But by the way, if it did get a name, there are some in the weather community that are screaming for this to get the attention of the National Hurricane Center. If it had an area of interest, I would tell you, but right now that is not the case. Hurricane Center is remaining silent right now. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but maybe they want to wait and see. But think about it this way. All nor'easters are coastal storms, but not all coastal storms are nor'easters. If this thing gets a warm core at the center of the water, it becomes a warm core, and they decide to call it Tropical Storm Karen, then it's Tropical Storm Karen. It's no longer considered a nor'easter. It's a tropical storm. But either way, it's semantics. It's kind of like when a storm comes through and knocks out your power, knocks out your roof, knocks out everything in your neighborhood, and you're all worried about, was it a tornado or was it straight line winds? It doesn't matter. You've lost power. You got to clean up. See what I'm saying? It becomes academic. But we are going to be dealing with nor'easter type winds. They're coming in from the northeast for a while. So I'm going to go back to the maps here because I want to show you the timeline. This represents Sunday at 9:30. So Sunday at 9:30, perhaps the worst of this will come in Saturday night after dark through early Sunday morning. So if you're up, I don't know, early for church services, it's still pounding rain across many parts of the mid-Atlantic. And there are indications by this account that this could have some legs to go further north. How much further north? How about Rehoboth? That's where I grew up on my beaches. I'm born and raised in Wilmington, Delaware, but I used to vacation in Rehoboth all the time as a kid. That was my first beach as a child. Rehoboth Beach, Dewey Beach, Fenwick Island. That's where this low seems to go. What time? What time is this, please? 6:30. This is Monday. Do you see how slow moving this is? Do you understand this is a slow moving system? I really am not going to get hung up, too worried, too enamored, whether it gets the name Karen, whether it gets no name, whether it gets a nor'easter label, whether it gets a coastal storm. We know it's a coastal storm, and it's going to be disruptive, and it's going to affect your outdoor activities. Isn't that all that matters really in the end of it? But right now, this is where things stand. And this wants to go where? South. This is right over Virginia, actually over Rehoboth Beach by 6 p.m. Sunday, and then it wants to go down. This is remarkable. If this were to verify, the European model seems to think it is today, but it could change its mind tomorrow. This is 1 o'clock Tuesday. 1 o'clock Tuesday, this storm is still throwing back some strong winds and some rain, tidal flooding. And you're like, is this thing ever going to end? I hope so. What about Jerry? We haven't even talked about him. Or haven't even talked about this storm. Jerry is going to be moving east of Bermuda. Maybe some people would say, hey, does it merge? Does it actually fuse with Jerry? Does Jerry take this storm out in the long term of Tuesday, Wednesday? Wait and see, because I know Jerry will be east of Bermuda, and Bermuda is right here. I'll circle it right here on my telestrator. It's on the far right of your screen. And so east of that island would be Jerry moving roughly at that same time. And we know when we saw two storms last couple of weeks, we saw two hurricanes get kind of drawn out thanks to the Fujiwara effect. Now, tidal flooding was a concern this afternoon. We saw minor tidal flooding. It's going to be another issue at noontime tomorrow and again midday on Saturday, but it should be up in the major, possibly moderate to major levels for tidal flooding by the time we hit Sunday. And again, a lot of this is going to be predicated on track and intensity. I want to check in with you because I am going on here. Let's see here. Chris, I believe Chris has a comment. Let's see if maybe he's having the question to me or someone on the street. It's been like this in Florida. Chris, it's like, whether they get names or not, whether they get labels or not, we still have to deal with it, right? I mean, we know, as I've heard many times, I've been here now 8 months, and I put together about a month ago or so, a 75th anniversary package or story about weather here in town. I had the privilege of being able to interview Dave Parker. Of course, Miles Henderson's been here 15 years. And of course, Patrick Rocky's experience here. So it's one of those things that I used to hear time and time again. It's, the nor'easters are sometimes worse than the hurricanes. And you could throw in coastal storms are sometimes worse than the hurricanes because they're slow moving and that can cause some real issues for people at home. I just want you to know it will get better mid to late next week. More hopeful by Wednesday, Thursday that the effects of this will start to relax in a big way. By the way, it's 7:53, top of the hour. I'm going to be giving away some free pizza. Your name may be on my screen, so stay with me. This rainfall forecast really is, it's nice. It shows some numbers. But when we haven't even seen this storm form yet, it's conjecture. I still think, and I still maintain, I've said, I think it's a 1 to 3 inch rain for Southeast Virginia, and I think it's 3 to 6 for areas, 3 to 6 plus, for Northeast North Carolina. You see these red areas down here? That's well in excess of 3 and 4. And so when you have a pseudo tropical coastal storm coming up, it's going to throw back more rain than what these models would yield. Yesterday, it showed about 7 inches in Nags Head, which was kind of remarkable because it's not showing that today. What's it have for Nags Head, you might ask? Well, let me zoom in. 2.3. That's a big change, Aldrich. How does it go from 7 yesterday to 2.3? These models don't know. They don't know what they're doing. No, they are. They're trying to figure it out. They're trying to figure out the solution. I think that's where a lot of people tend to fail. They get this little myopia with the models. They worship the models. That's not what you do. These models are constantly reconfiguring. There's little perturbations or changes that make deviations that keep changing, so they're going to have a different output each and every day. Sometimes it's changeable every 6 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours. In this case, it went from 7 to 2.3. Do I hang my hat on either one? Let's take an average. It's probably in the 3 to 6 range. That's my expectation, and that's where I think we should move forward with that expectation, that we're going to have a lot of rain this weekend, and it could carry over into Monday and Tuesday for sure. Now, will this be a big problem for Roanoke? No. Will this be a big problem for Richmond? No. It's mainly along the coast. And I could even include Edenton, Currituck, Knott's Island, all in that as well, because it will depend on how close it gets to us. Meanwhile, we take a look at the wind speeds. This is Saturday afternoon. Again, these numbers really are academic because it's only Thursday night. They say that's ridiculous. Thursday's really close to Saturday. These things can change when you haven't even had it form on the radar yet. I just showed you the raw ingredients. I showed you what was down toward Daytona Beach. So you have all the ingredients and elements in place. Let's just wait and see how it forms. Let's see how it takes shape, because right now, the models still put all of these red areas, which would probably suggest wind gusts well over 40, 45, 50, 55. That wouldn't be out of the question, but again, it may not scream that south side at 10 o'clock Sunday when it might actually be higher. So we have to be a little more forward thinking, have 50-20 vision, not 20-20 vision, to know that these things can change. And you can see here we got a 40-mile-an-hour gust in the Outer Banks. This is Tuesday night. I mean, come on, Tuesday night, this thing's trying to get out of here. It's trying, maybe slowly, but eventually it'll release some of its grip on this part of the world and part of this region. Meanwhile, wind gusts continue to show high around Hatteras, heading into Saturday, Sunday, about 40 or so. And again, this is where they're putting the low over here, right? What if it's 50 miles this way? Then these numbers go up. It's not really hard to figure that out, but let's wait and see where this low eventually goes. But if you are planning outdoor events, and I know there's a lot going on, including like the 47th annual Suffolk Peanut Festival, you can go tomorrow. You could probably get a lot of your outdoor activities done Saturday morning. Might not be perfect in Hampton Roads or in Suffolk, but it will only get worse, I think, by Saturday evening once it gets dark and into early Sunday morning. That's when I think the worst of the rain will be felt. We'll have to wait and see. All right, lows this morning hit 60. What time was that? 7:56 a.m. I like to look at the numbers from the Norfolk International Airport, and we had a high temperature of 70 in Suffolk, but it was 67 in Norfolk. 67 in Norfolk. That occurred at 4:08 this afternoon, just for comparison. Beach forecast tomorrow, going to be high for rip current risk, no surprise there. And we're looking at temperatures in the upper 60s to near 70, 10 to 20 mile an hour winds. That's still going to be a factor. And we've got 4 to 6 feet for surf height expected on a Friday. By the way, it's now 7:57. Of course, we love that number. We love that time. This is the 757, don't you know? 70% Saturday, 80% Sunday, elevated chances of rain and lingering into Monday and Tuesday. I mentioned Jerry a moment ago. That's down here. Jerry's actually going to brush across tonight into the northern Leeward Islands, if I have that correctly, and that's where this storm is now. Has winds of 65, but isn't it interesting? By Monday, Tuesday, you're going to have a storm probably up here approaching Rehoboth, Fenwick Island, and Dewey Beach in Delaware, or will it still be hanging out around the eastern shore? Because Monday over here, it's going to be a hurricane east of Bermuda. So we'll see if there's any kind of interaction. Let's see if the models figure this out. We'll wait and see. I don't know if it's going to drag it out any quicker or if it's just going to make it linger here all the more. That's no fun for sure. By the way, it's 7:58. I'm 2 minutes away. 2 minutes away from pizza. I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. And I would love to announce your name, and I will announce 10 winners for individual pizzas. Plus, somebody's going to win free pizza for a year. By the way, Karen, that's the next name on the list, followed by Lorenzo and Melissa. Those are the next 3 names on this year's list. I got some other notes that might be coming in. I want to give a shout out to Chris and Taj and Marilyn and anyone else that might be on the call. Would love to say hi to you. If you have a question, let me know. Oh, let's see how interactive. Let's see how interactive we all can be. A, B, or C. Here's today's trivia question. How, or should I say, what is the highest predicted tide of the year called? Is it king tide, emperor tide, or high tide? Anyone want to take a guess just to see if anyone's watching I got a Kim. Is this a guess? I don't know. Oh, she's saying thank you. Well, very happy birthday to you. It's a day late. I'm sorry I didn't catch it last night, Kim, but glad to have you here. And also glad that you had some Marcos. Sounds like you had a great birthday. Hopefully you were surrounded by loved ones and family for sure. Other notes, anybody want to give a shout out? What is the highest predicted tide of the year called? Is it A, is it B, or is it C? That would be king tide, emperor tide, or high tide. Marilyn is in here. She's got the quick answer, and she is correct. It is a king tide. It's not a scientific term, but we're coming off the harvest moon, and sometimes with the gravitational pull, we can oftentimes describe some of these mammoth tides, right? King tide certainly is sometimes referred to by the National Weather Service and NOAA. So there you go, a king tide. Friday's planner, just to keep things simple, sun to clouds. I think we're going to find a lot of sunshine tomorrow, even though we had a little spot shower a moment ago. We are going to get some sunshine in the start of the day and then should start to gather the clouds for the second half of the afternoon. 69 here, will be near 70, but the winds are still going to be about 10 to 20 and gusting around 25. All right, it is time. It is time. I would be remiss if I didn't mention to you, this is what we're doing right now. We're going to give away free pizza for a year. Love it. Let's give out and throw out some confetti. This week's winner, I'm very happy to announce, comes from Hampton. It is the Brenda Copeland from Hampton. You just won free pizza for a year, Brenda. I don't know if you're watching. I don't know if you're watching this on delay. I don't know if you're watching this a day later. Either way, you're suddenly going to get a certificate in the mail, and your name's going to be on it. You go, well, I won? You did win, actually, Brenda. You won free pizza for a year. I love it because it actually looks like this. And because this is October, as soon as you get your certificate, you can order a large one-topping pizza. You don't have to pay anything for it. It'll just hand it to you. Your name will be up here, awarded to, and the date received, and all the rest. And so you'll get one around Thanksgiving. Maybe you're tired of turkey after a certain day. You can get pizza on a Thanksgiving post day or before. Then you get one in December, and you're going to get free pizza all the way through September of 2026. How sweet is that? Again, congratulations to our friend Brenda Copeland from Hampton. So happy for you to win. If you're watching us, if you know Brenda, call her, tell her, hey, you just won some pizza. Oh, I'm very excited. Brenda, happy to have you win some pizza. I got other notes here. Taj was guessing C. I think he was on here. Yeah, we're moved on, but I will say that the answer was A, king tide. But high tide works too. I will say that they're not bad or wrong, but the scientific term, non-scientific term, is the king tide. So thank you for playing along here, Taj. And just to remind you, because I want to give away 10 more pizzas, I have had a tough task to give away 122 pizzas. I tried my best to give the free ones yesterday, and I still have more to do there. But I'm going to be giving away, 12 to Brenda. Brenda gets 12. That's one per month for the year. But now we're going to give away the individual pizzas. So there are 10 of those. So 10, 12, that's 22. I can't hardly keep track of that and the weather. It's not easy, but let's get to the big winners. And the big winners here, let's see if I get my slides here. Number one, it's a free large Marco's pizza, one topping. In no particular order, goes to Annette Mahoney, Virginia Beach. Do you know Annette? Anyone know Annette Mahoney, party of one. Annette Mahoney, party one. Your pizza is now ready. Chris Baum of Virginia Beach, you too have just won some free pizza from Marco's. Generous as they are, they like to give back to the community, and they're giving it back to you. And in no particular order, we also have Karen Lane, who is from Virginia Beach. Got 3 Virginia Beach, and another one from Hampton, Katrina Brown. Congratulations, Katrina. I'm very happy to announce that you have just won a free Marco's pizza. A certificate is on its way. It'll be mailed to you, and you'll see it through the post office. So don't throw it away. You're throwing away free food. So be sure, if you're not sure, be sure you open it, because it will have a certificate in there, and you can redeem it at any time. It's convenient for you at those 6 locations. Number 6 are now on the screen. Lakeisha Newsom in Chesapeake. You have just won a free pizza from Marco's, as has Lindsay Trosper from Chesapeake. You have just won a free Marco's pizza. Congratulations to you. And in no particular order, we're going to go to number 7 and 8. This is Ray Bozeman of Virginia Beach. You, my friend, have just won some free pizza. Virginia Beach, there are 3 locations. We talked about that. Sabrina Johnson from Chesapeake, another winner. Free pizza, one topping from Marco's. That certificate will be sent to you in the mail. So very happy that you have won. And last but not least, and there's more to give here today, is the number 9 and 10. Scott Mahone of Norfolk. Scott Mahone of Norfolk has just won some free pizza, as has Thomas Clark from Portsmouth. So congratulations to all 10 of you, Annette, Chris, Karen, Katrina, Lakeisha, Lindsay, Ray, Sabrina, Scott, and Thomas. And of course, the big winner, pizza for a year. That's 12 pizzas will go to Brenda Copeland from Hampton. She might have to do a little bit of a drive, not much, but 20, 30 minutes across the HRBT. But what's nice to know is that these 5 locations, now 6, are participating in the free contest, so you can get the free pizza at any one of these 6 locations. And speaking of which, because I don't want to leave this out, there's a very big announcement here that if you are watching us right now, this is where it gets really sweet. Because in lieu of a deal of the week, this is the deal. They're giving away 100 free pizzas from their newest store in Battlefield Boulevard South, Chesapeake. So if you would like to go to this URL, and I will give it to you specifically piece by piece. All you have to do is tell them what you want on your pizza and when you're going to pick it up. It's really that easy. They want to do it on Saturday. So this is a Saturday-only special. Now, if it's going to be all rainy and such, as it will be, maybe it's hey, I'm going to stay in, have Marco's, and watch a movie. Maybe you want to do that. Here's your chance. There's a first 100 pizzas going out the door. There's no 101. So I don't know where they stand, but reserve your pizza tonight. Go to form.jotform.com, and then you're going to put /Marco's Pizza Virginia / First Warning Live is abbreviated FWL giveaway. FWL giveaway, and it's going to open up a whole new form. I think there's like maybe 5 or 6 questions. Your name, your email, and what do you want on your pizza, and when do you want to pick it up. It's not hard. And if you do that, you've won pizza. I mean, that's pretty sweet. I think that's probably one of the best. I've never seen a deal like that, and I do want to mention to you today is actually come back on camera. Today is my 75th episode. I've been doing 75 of these. They're all on my YouTube channel. But for the 75th anniversary, we're giving away 100 free pizzas. All you have to do is claim it. All you have to do is rest. Hey, I'm coming to get it. I want it hot at 2 or 2:30 or 3 or 3:30, whatever time you want it. The pizza's going to be there. So hopefully you'll be able to. And if you're around Battlefield, South Battlefield, I do have some pictures in case you're not sure what that area looks like. Great Bridge, it looks like this. Great Bridge Marketplace. Marco's Pizza has just been installed here, so I'll put a little telestrator. So maybe you know this area very well. It's across the street from Great Bridge Middle School. I point this out as this is the place that's giving away free pizza, and to participate, all you have to do is register this URL that we mentioned here at the bottom. It's form.jotform.com /Marco's Pizza Virginia /FWL giveaway. All right, it is 8:06. Get back to the weather because I want to get back to that. Mention the planner tomorrow. Expecting temperatures in the upper 60s, but we'll expect more clouds to roll in. As I have to come back on camera, I see I'm having some computer issues here, but they're coming back. So I'm getting this back up and running. But the pizza special is just for this Saturday, so it's a one-time deal. If you can drive through some rain and you're nearby, I don't know, if you're 5 or 10 miles away from South Battlefield Boulevard, this may be for you. So get back to the weather here. Come back here and move my cursor over here because that sometimes messes me up, but the winds are going to be pretty busy 10 to 20 tomorrow. Now clearly we were about 9 degrees cooler today than we were yesterday. We've had a string of cool days this month, but 67. The record high is 91, set back in 2007 and 1939. Clearly we're on this cool path for sure. We picked up 9/100 of an inch when that front came through yesterday. If you're curious, do we have room for rain? Do we have room for 1 to 3 inches? Probably the answer is yes, given the fact that we're almost 5 inches below normal from the Norfolk International Airport standpoint. I know most people don't live at the airport, but maybe if you live 5, 10 miles from the airport, you might have similar readings that you might be on the dry side. And last year we had nearly 45 inches at this same time in the calendar. This year we've had 35 1/4. We're about 9.5 inches below where we were last year. I'm not saying that's where we should be. I'm just saying that's a comparison to last year, and we're running about 1 inch below and climbing in October for the dryness. Meanwhile, if you're in the military and you've got family near and far, maybe far away, I've got your national map here for good reason. We got some rain in the Four Corners, some rain in Northern California, spreading up toward Medford. Nothing severe at this point, but as I mentioned, the big story will be what's brewing down across Florida. As this low is going to be coming up from Cuba, coming up from Florida, and it will be working its way here very slowly as it inches up like itsy bitsy spider up the eastern seaboard. Not what anybody wants, especially when it happens on a weekend. I'm just checking in with you. Want to say congratulations to all the winners. Taj Brown is on here. He's excited, and I'm excited that he's excited, because anytime his emojis make me smile, I love it. And hopefully, Taj, hopefully you will get free pizza. Just register that you're coming. Tell them if you want deluxe, you want sausage, you want pepperoni, maybe you want a garden pizza with just veggies. Say, hey, I'll pick it up at whatever time, and I'll do it on Saturday. They would love to see you. Get your free pizza. I want you to be able to have free pizza for all those that watch on a regular basis. Other comments that might be coming, Kim's commenting about the weather. Cool weather is amazing. If you like it cool, today was nice, 67 in Norfolk. Tomorrow will be about 69, which is pretty close. All right, so let me keep going. It is now 8:09. You can see how cool it is under that dome of high pressure that's parked near upstate New York. Over Lake Ontario, do my eyes deceive me? I mean, is this like February or early October? Do you see this? I mean, weather nerds like me, do you see 27 dew point? I mean, you couldn't be much drier than New York City right now. Compare that, it's 52 in Virginia Beach. That's what I expected, was low 50s, but it's 45 in Richmond. The dew points are a great measurement of really how comfortable it feels or doesn't feel. It's going to be moving back up to 65 or 64 over the next day or two by Saturday. But it is clear to me that the niceness, the comfortable factor, will only go maybe back down to mid-60s for Saturday and Sunday when the coastal low is here. So it will feel a little stickier than it does today. So far, temperatures, 8 o'clock. 65 right now in Norfolk. Chesapeake not reporting. We've seen a non-report from them for several hours now, but 63 in Suffolk, 63 in Newport News. At the moment, we have Smithfield at 62, Manio at 66, and Moayaw coming in at 66 as well. Temperatures in Knoxville, East Tennessee at 69, 70 in Hot Atlanta, and it's 67 in Hatteras, while a dew point of 27 and a temperature of 53 in New York must feel pretty amazing. I might even consider wearing a jacket when it's that cool in the Big Apple in early October. Above normal for Texas, but everyone else seemingly, in lieu of this coastal low, is going to drop the temperatures here. So expect below normal temperatures from the 17th through the 23rd. So expect that to be the case. Now, if you're looking for winter, look no further than our friends in Canada. Can you see a big blob of blue coming down right through the middle of the month? And it looks like it's going to settle across the Great Lakes, probably right through the 19th. So if we stop the clock here at the 19th of October, it is cold enough to see your breath when you got blue areas here, possibly some flakes, but it's really cool in Hampton Roads, where temperatures may struggle to get out of the 60s. Some of you are like, that's for me. Or some of you might be thinking, that's not for me, that's too soon, don't rush it. It is what it is. It's autumn weather. 69, actually that should say Friday. I goofed on this. This is a Friday. Let's go ahead and put it on top here. So this is Friday. You see how I like to do this things on the fly. This is Saturday, and so on. So I have all my days out of whack, but this is Sunday, you get the picture, and then on Monday, we got over here, Monday, and then we got Tuesday over here, TUE. Anyway, so that's the way the temperature trend will be looking. Let's go ahead and clear this off, because the Eastern Shore, as it's now 8:12, will be in the mid-60s tomorrow from Bloxham to Nancock and Exmoor. Cape Charles about 66 degrees with increasing clouds. We'll leave a 20% chance for a spot of rain later in the day. 71 in Manio, 69 Kill Devil Hills, and Rodanthe about 70, could be and should be in the lower 70s for Ocracoke and Hatteras, both around 73. Storm Prediction Center, we like to show you for purposes of severe weather. The risk categories, when it's dark green or yellow, will typically flag some areas that might have severe weather, but really nothing to see between now and daybreak tomorrow. So we can skip this area, certainly not an issue, and clear off the telestrator, but you can see between now and tomorrow morning, things look pretty quiet. As we head into tomorrow, there's still nothing to see in terms of severe weather, but they did add a few areas come Saturday. If you have family far and wide, I'm looking back towards Salt Lake City and northern parts of Arizona. There could be some severe weather breaking out on Saturday, isolated as it may be, covering parts of Nevada and Utah and northern Arizona. Outside of that, looks pretty quiet heading into Saturday afternoon. So let's take you through tonight. This model was not really that far off, given the fact that we did get a brief shower. It had a little bit more rain than perhaps verified, but we did get a spot shower. This represents 9 o'clock, which is really about 45 minutes or so from now. But notice the winds, still busy. We go into 11 o'clock, that rain, if there's any left, could work its way back toward Southampton County and back towards maybe Sussex. By the time we hit 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, a lot of sunshine, winds still busy, and then we start to cloud back up. You can see that pretty clearly when I take this full. The clouds start to gather by 3 o'clock, if not sooner, across much of the area. Now left a 20% chance of rain. You can see a drop there in Bertie County and maybe around the Albemarle or even near Duck or Knott's Island. By 11 o'clock tomorrow night, now we're really starting to see this storm take shape. By 11 o'clock Saturday morning, it doesn't look all that bad. It's cloudy, mostly cloudy, but it really starts to fill in. And I think once we have the definition, once we have a better look of this storm and how it's forming, then we will get a better output in terms of the modeling. But the rain showers by 3 o'clock Saturday, it doesn't look all that bad. But other models want to bring it a little more faster, more progressive to the north. So if you start to see rain in Williamsburg, by 5 o'clock Saturday, don't be surprised. If you start getting rain in Norfolk and Virginia Beach before 5 p.m., don't be surprised. And if you start getting rain in Exmoor by 5 o'clock Saturday, don't be surprised, because all of this is going to continue to spin in, and it's all predicated, all dependent, all contingent on this intensity of the low. All right, it is 8:15, just wrapping up. Low temperatures by morning in the mid-50s. As I mentioned, upper 20s for Harrisonburg. The JMU, James Madison University Dukes will be duking out the chilly air. 51 in Franklin, Conway is 50, about 58 for Hampton and 53 for Gloucester. Tonight's lows down to about 55 for Chesapeake, 62 for Corolla. Tomorrow afternoon, I mentioned upper 60s, more clouds, more gathering by the afternoon, and highs should reach about 70 for Franklin, 73 for Edenton, about 68 for Virginia Beach, and 69 for Hampton. I expect about 70 for Chesapeake and Moyock, 68 Smithfield, Newport News, about 69. Here's your first warning. WTKR News 3 7-day forecast. 69 Friday, 72 Saturday. Still in the upper 60s with wind-driven rain. Now, given the fact I've shown you there's potential for this storm to go up toward the beaches of Delaware and then come back Tuesday, is it any wonder I'm playing it safe with keeping a 30% chance of rain both days? But once the influence of this storm either dies away, fades away, or moves away, it's really this point out. It really looks delightful. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, possibly even Saturday. You could get 4 delightful days next week, but you got to get through this weekend. And I know it's a real bummer when you've got plans already in place for pumpkin patches, for peanut festivals, and all the rest, but that's just the way things are shaping up right now. Got a couple of happy shots. This comes by way of the harvest moon from Kimberly. Kimberly Golden shared this with us. Beautiful picture. I mean, can you tell me how much beauty you can find in this part of the world? It's here, and we've got some great photographers in the WTKR Photographers Facebook group. Also wanted to show you the Hampton sunrise from today, thanks to our friend Bradley Fullwood captured this gem coming in from this morning. Love it because we did have a lot of sunshine today. And last but not least, a James River sunset from Katrina Gay, also one of our WTKR photographers. So thank you, Katrina, for sharing that with us as well. I mentioned we didn't see a lot of rain on the radar, but I can attest, I see it out the window. We got a bit of a shower within the hour. Last hour, it came through Norfolk. Wasn't all that hard or that didn't last long, but it did come in, probably more so than what's depicted there. So there's your first warning, WTKR 7-day forecast, back in the upper 60s by Tuesday, hoping that this will break its grip by Wednesday and Thursday. But tidal flooding is going to be a big concern. As I come back on camera, we're still going to be concerned about moderate to major tidal flooding going into Sunday. I already showed you the minor for midday tomorrow and midday Saturday, but it will be ramping up Sunday, sadly. So we've got to really be diligent, keep an eye on, turn around, don't drown, don't drive through these standing water, but we're going to get a lot of rain on top of it as well. I did mention the big winner, of course. Participating contest locations are all on your screen. If you are hungry for some Marcos, and maybe you've never had Marcos, I encourage you for next week, sign up at WTKR.com/Marcos to be a winner. You could actually win free pizza for a year. And I also mentioned, who else did I mention? I mentioned the appetite. If you're hungry during this Saturday when it is rainy and you want to watch a movie and stay home and watch Netflix, have some free pizza. That's really easy to do. All you have to do is go to our First Winning Live exclusive. You're not going to see this anywhere else. This webpage, well, you could start with HTTP, I guess, but form.jotform.com/Marco's Pizza Virginia /FWL, which is First Winning Live giveaway, and just register. Say, hey, I want a deluxe pizza. I want to pick it up at 2:30, and that's it. I mean, it's really simple. It's not being put in a drawing because they're giving away 100 of these things. So if you are near the South Battlefield, this is kind of like a grand opening announcement. They want to give away and celebrate their newest location with Marco's Pizza. All right, so that's it in a nutshell. Just check in your comments. I got some thanks. I got some Thompson Jones. And, I did show Ross Hill. I did show Vonda Ross Hill. I did show the weekend. As you can see that probably, if you didn't see it, I'll come back on this for a second. Let's see here. Right behind me. Yep, so we have 72, 69. That's it in a nutshell. So hopefully you got the entire 7-day forecast. Well, just remember, it doesn't matter if the weather is sunny or if the weather is serious. And it will be serious at times. I'm going to be here on Saturday. I'll be live streaming at least by 6 p.m. and may go long as you want to participate with me. So you might see things I don't see, but I'll be here this Saturday, so make sure you stay tuned because things could change. And I'll, of course, won't be live streaming tomorrow, but I'll update you on my Facebook page as well as the WTKR Facebook page too. So anyway, just remember, it doesn't matter if it's sunny or serious, every day is a gift. I know that's hard to imagine, but every day is a gift, so make the most of it in your neighborhood. We'll see you here tomorrow or see you here this weekend. Take care.